of hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubarak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just blowing up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5.
And it does knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Nexus Gaming Series tonight. I'm going to bring you a matchup between some teams in the B-NorthEast division. I'm your host, Aero. I am joined tonight by Salvaje. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
So excited to have you. So Salvaje from Running Wild, if I remember correctly?
Yes, we are in Division A West at the moment with Running Wild.
Right on. And how's that going for you? How's your season going?
You know, it could be better. We're definitely a brand new team, so we're learning a lot. Right now we are 0-7 in the games, but we are learning a lot and hoping to improve.
Sure. Well, and you know what? As a new team, it takes some time to kind of get used to your flow, your coordination in the team, the communication. So I'm sure you guys will pick that up. Especially you have that opportunity to learn about the other teams with your double round robin division. This division, however, a very large division, Division B, to the point where there were 3 separate divisions, Northeast and Southeast on the east side, and then of course the one for West. So we're in Division Northeast between Deckard's, Erudition, and Death and Delay. I think Deckard's is kind of a hodgepodge of a variety of different players from different teams, but new this season, whereas Death and Delay, a team that has been around at least for a season or two. Are you familiar at all with either of these teams or any of these players?
No, I'm not familiar with the teams themselves, and neither of the players, but I really like Pina Colada's names.
I mean, if you like pina coladas, right?
Yeah, I'm about to start jamming out, but we'll hold
Right.
on to it.
All right, well, let's cover the real quick basics here, then we'll get into this draft because the teams are all ready to go. So just a quick look at the standings here. We have Death and Delay currently 6-0. They've got 9 points. They're sitting right up at the top. Division B Northeast has 3 teams there at the top: Legal, Scalding Sweat Cult, and Death and Delay with 9 points. Deckard's Erudition there with 3 points, tied with Regen Ghost and Animaniacs. So definitely looking for some points to catch up into the middle of the pack there. Our map bans tonight. We have our blue team, Deckard's Erudition, banning out Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. Death and Delay, they banned out Brax's Holdout and Hanamura Temple. In our first game, going to be right here on Dragonshire.
Yeah, we see a couple of those larger maps being banned out here with Curse and Alterac Pass, and then Braxis. No one likes Braxis. Get that out of here. We do have a ban of Sylv, Rexar, and Greymane so far in Dragonshire. Very smart bans, especially with Rexar being able to hold top forever with Misha on the point and Rexar soaking the lane.
Yeah, and Sylvanas able to give more value to the Dragon Knight. Greymane, you know, Curse Bullet is always going to be a valuable talent, or if you've got a weaker team, you can weaker enemy team, lower health enemy team, you can pick that Go for the Throat. But D.Va being banned out is not a big surprise. She's still really strong. And then they pick up the Chromie.
Yeah, D.Va is still extremely strong in all aspects, in sieging, auto attacking, and then point control. We do have Gazlo and Johanna picked up by Pina Colada and my Drone Knights. Gazlo providing that, again, huge zone control over the points, with Chromie being able to hopefully poke him out. But I really like the Gazlo pick here. I really like having that zone control with the bombs and his turrets.
I'm really excited to see how this goes. I have not been able to cast a Gazlo game yet. We haven't played against a Gazlo in NGS since his adjustments. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. He really brings a lot of combo potential with his adjusted timing on his stuns, on his TNT stuns, and then also Gravo Bomb. So we could see like a setup of a Johanna Blessed Shield into a Gravo Bomb combo, and who knows how many of those players are going to walk away, because it'll depend on what the rest of the team looks like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even going instead of Blessed Shield, going the I think it's Judgment, I believe what it's called.
Judgment's Tyrael. That's Falling Sword.
Falling Sword. That'd be around like a 4-second stun altogether if they both land those correctly. So someone will walk out dead, or nobody would be walking out. Maybe. I'm excited for that combo, actually. Woo!
It could be, especially when you get to like level 20 and the Holy Bolts. That could get really exciting to see a large Gravo Bomb with the stun, with Johanna just jumping all over everybody with the Holy Bolts. Like, ooh, man. Now I really want to see this happen. It's not going to happen, but I want to see it.
And then we do have the Muradin too. Like, Muradin has been being picked up quite often, both in my Storm League games and in the NGS games lately. They just picked up Mephisto and Anduin on the side of Deckard's Erudition. So the Muradin does have a couple of targets here that he could haymaker into his team. I definitely see like a Bruiser being picked up on Death and Delay to help him out with that. Every time I see a Muradin picked up, there's always something cheeky going on.
I gotta tell you, the Mephisto is gonna be really strong for that combo. Set it up with you've got another setup. You use that Durance of Hate. Everybody's rooted now. Maybe they're silenced. Probably not. I assume it'll be Mimic at level 20. But that could be just absolutely disgusting amounts of damage. The entire team could be deleted. But Sonya and Vala picked up here for Death and Delay.
Also, Falling Sword and Anduin's. I really need to learn the ultimates of these champions.
Light Bomb.
But Light Bomb has always been a combo. That's always been a combo. So I can see some crazy combos coming out on the side of Deckard's Erudition. And they don't even, Urel's just going to hold top. She's going to have the time of her life living forever against Sonya. So I'm really excited. I really like Deckard's Erudition's comp going into Dragonshire.
I have to say I like it a lot too. You know, Death and Delay have the Brightwing, which is going to give them a little bit of a global presence that Deckard doesn't have. So we'll see if that's able to kind of help Sonya maybe get a gank and kill the Urel. But Urel's just a really tough hero to kill to begin with. And I mean, how do you deal with that right now, right? Chromie, there's not a lot of reasons not to go temporal. They don't have really a direct cleanse. Obviously, everybody's got their medallions, but I mean, the game I cast on Wednesday night ended because of an upgraded temporal loop.
Oh yeah, the double temp.
So we'll see.
And Chromie, even though the Gazlo, it's kind of who gets there first, because Chromie can completely lock off the entrance facing the enemy side with her slowing sands if she doesn't go temporal loop. And whoever gets there first is the one that's going to set up and be able to prevent the other team from coming in unless they do some heavy hard engage. Oh my god, my screen's been crazy.
All right, well, we are all set up and ready to go for game number 1 here on Dragonshire between Deckard's Erudition and Death and Delay. Why don't you go ahead and take it away and introduce the team, whichever one you want.
Okay, so Deckard's Erudition over on the blue side is Pina Colada on Johanna, Xanthanarium on Mephisto, Sheej on Anduin, Rise Robin on Urel, and Midrol Knight on Gazlo. I'm so sorry if I butchered your names.
All right, and on the right we've got Death and Delay. We got Huckett on Muradin. I'm going to screw that up at least once, I'm sure. Mac Daddy-O on Vala there. Delta Sniper going to be playing the Chromie. MZ17 there on Brightwing. and then MDC on Sonya. A couple of names here that we'll probably not use a whole lot. We'll just use those character names.
I'm be saying back daddy-o. Oh, and here we have the W coming out with the Mephisto follow-up. Again, we saw that their combo potential, even without their ults, is extremely strong with the amount of synergy that goes in between the Mephisto and the Johanna, with Gazlo setting up those stuns on under the Johanna Ws.
Yeah, there's a lot of combo potential here for Deckard's, and it's short cooldown combo. You know, you don't require the ults. The ults just make it even better. So it's really gonna be up to Death and Delay to find the opportunity to break those combo chains and find the right hero that they can kill to make sure that they can't just get absolutely deleted. And that's gonna be most likely either the Gazlo or the Mephisto. I just don't see them having a real strong way to kill the Johanna.
Yeah, there'll have to be a lot of focus potential. Chromie does have the opportunity to get those picks on the Johanna with her time loops and just setting up all that damage to make Johanna go down low. Because that'll force Anduin to burst all of his healing. But we'll see. We'll see as these fights go along.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, Anduin's got Leap of Faith, so he's going to be able to pull out whoever the Muradin Sonya combo dive, comp here is kind of going after. So it's going to be tough. I think you're right. I think Chromie is really the one who's got to set this up. We do see here her chronic conditions, so getting that additional slow from her time traps should help her to lock heroes down long enough to get the Dragon's Breath or the Vala. But Huckett going to get pulled in there by Johanna, and Brightwing's going to go ahead and shift in to keep him nice and healthy.
And one talent choice to notice up here is Chromie on level 1 did go Time Walker's Pursuit to be able to get that extra vision and the extra spell power over time. Usually see the Dragon's Breath quest being picked up here, so I definitely see some interrupt potential or some burst damage coming out with the additional spell power from Chromie.
Yeah, the additional spell power, but being able to keep track of the enemy team. But she's taken all of that Dragon's Breath, is barely going to make it out. Mac Daddy-O, however, apparently also going to be able to make it out.
That spell power, we just saw it there.
Yeah, big damage there. Also, though, keep in mind, Brightwing with her Pixie Dust able to provide a pretty significant spell armor. But there's that time trap onto Gazlo, and I think Pina Colada might have been in there as well. But midpoint is going to be channeled so far here for the red team.
And Mephisto does end up falling to the Chromie Dragon's Breath. She's hitting her skill shots every single time. Chromie really putting out that damage and making sure that those combos don't even get started by Pina Colada by already chunking them down so low in the back line.
Well, right now we've got our tank and healer versus the Gazlo in the mid lane. Chromie having to hearth back, ran out of mana, and it's a little bit challenging as a Mephisto to go into the Chromie. Mac Daddy-O, though, getting pulled back in, does get stunned as Muradin jumping in, trying to peel for the team and just block any of those skill shots coming in. Ultimately allowing our Vala to make it out here.
Yeah, wonderful peeling from Huckett. We did see that Brightwing teleported onto Vala, but they did both get caught by the Gazlo stun, but Huckett was able to prevent all that damage from following up. But Pina Colada taking a ton of damage off this stun from Huckett, but Mephisto able to push them off with his own damage, going in with another W. Mephisto also being able to peel off for the Johanna, which is interesting, while Gazlo and Delta Sniper up here duking it out for the mid lane.
And I have to wonder if Xanthan, has played as a main tank at some point here. We'll come back to that in a second. Gazlo trying to stay alive here, but Chromie is going to be able to... he's only got half of his health.
Oh yeah, but Uriel coming in for the flank, ends up jumping onto the Vala and the Brightwing, but Vala does end up eating in and getting that extra damage onto Gazlo, resulting in his death. Uriel just going to mount up here, head back top, try to contest the top point, while bottom is capped by the blue side, with Huckett having 10 by the Johanna blind. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was really close, but Huckett almost made it out. Just couldn't quite get far enough, and obviously her flashlight going over the wall. In this case, however, we'll go back to that point I was mentioning earlier, which is Mephisto into Chromie. You're going, where he's going to be, and you know when he's going to be there. So dropping a Dragon's Breath and maybe a couple of Chromie plus clone sandblasts, and suddenly Mephisto's in a dangerous spot.
Yeah, he's definitely got to take advantage of the walls and the bushes and be sure that his shade is being hidden by those. And Chromie does end up going slowing sands to deny this point from the enemy team. Time trap falling on 2 players of Deckard's Erudition with Siege and the Gazlo taking a ton of damage. Siege is very, very low, gonna end up walking out of there with Mephisto coming right back in with some extra damage on his side. And down goes Davala with Gazlo getting polymorphed by the Brightwing. And Chromie just gonna go ahead and poke back in here with the point. Fights, by the way, they're going back and forth over and over again.
Yeah, and the thing that I like is that these are not, they're not blowout fights. They're, one person dies, the other team kind of pulls back, resets, and tries to work something out. But this right here it's a super aggressive play. Even though this is a 4v3, having Chromie nearby makes this really difficult. And there's the Emerald Wind coming out, pushing everybody off, but Pina Colada very low. Brightwing, however, going to get lasered to death. And Huckett popping the Avatar, trying to stay on the point, does get rooted by that root from Mephisto, but Vala finishing the job is going to get taken out by the Gazlo.
Back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, a whole lot of death there for a bruiser camp, and it's Deckard who picks it up.
Yeah, and the staggering of the ults was very well done on the side of Deckard's. We didn't see everything popped immediately like we thought it would. Oh, a stun does end up falling onto the Anduin from Huckett. Anduin taking a little bit of damage from the Brightwing, Polly, and Q. We have Siege Giants pushing it just a little bit with some damage being taken by the Deckard's fort at the bottom here. Oh, Chromie gonna be heading back here, but getting interrupted by the Johanna with 3-man W. Emerald Winds gets popped out. Slowing Sands get placed down onto the right-hand side with Chromie having little to no mana, having to go back to get that mana back. And bottom point does belong to Deckard's Erudition with mid popping up, getting ready to be picked up.
That was really clutch play by the Johanna, getting that condemn, ultimately interrupting the Chromie back, but also using that Blessed Shield to lock him down. They weren't able to get any kills out of it, but that was one of the oh shit moments if you're Death and Delay saying, do we just die here? Right? You pull him in, you've got a level 7 subdue from Johanna, and that's an 80% slow, and that's, I believe, Chromie's only goes to 70% with her flowing sands. Not positive of that.
So we did see Gazlo get a little bit of trouble there with the Rain of Vengeance and slowing sands falling down onto him, but the Leap of Faith from Anduin did get him out of that pickle.
So we do have 4v4 in the bot lane here. Here comes the light bomb. There's the Gazlo gravel bomb and the root from what's his name, but Emerald Wind gonna push everybody back, so everybody's just fine on both sides here. Although Mac Daddy O falling a bit low. Time to pull back now.
We see a glimpse of it. Once they get that combo down, able to also capture the Brightwing, so she can't Emerald Wind them out of there. These fights, I see them going very, very differently from what we're seeing right now, but we do see Mac Daddy-O getting a little low there. He did end up tapping, so be okay. Brightwing's hanging out mid. Muradin coming down for the flank. Gonna land a stun. Ooh, a jumps. Dwarf tosses on 3 members of the team of Deckard's with Johanna getting very, very low. Mac Daddy-O's doing that damage with Mephisto getting caught by another stun from Huckett with damage falling down from the Chromie, but he does land endurance on both Chromie and Brightwing. He's just trying to get out of there. He ends up walking out with Pina Colada, both very, very low. Awesome disengage from the Mephisto. He got caught there a little bit with the stun and the slowing sands, but was able to get on out of there with his own damage. But we do see bottom fort going to be falling on the side of Deckard's Erudition.
Yeah, and that bruiser camp that Sonya and Urel were fighting over, getting a lot of value there in the top lane. Mac Daddy-O could be in danger here, is going to pop the Gladiator's Medallion, and now Gazlo stuck in the slowing sands is going to fall pretty low. I'm not sure if it's enough. Oh, it is if the Dragon's Breath hits, though. And Leap of Faith coming out just not quite in time. In fact, Gazlo falling in the middle of that Leap of Faith.
Yep, it was a leap of doom.
But we do have the Dragon Knight picked up here by Muradin, heading into the mid lane, so working on getting their second fort here. Sonya and Urel here having a little bit of a brawl, but that's, again, I mean, both of these heroes can live just about forever against each other, so unless you have, like, the Muradin jumping in like we did on that camp, I don't expect to see that changing much. We do see the kind of reverse shot Durance there going on to the Avatar Demurden, so he's just fine. But Vala deep in the back looking for Sheeds, but it's probably going to be Vala falling?
Close.
Maybe not. Urel even coming down to try to help pull that fight into their favor, but that gives Sonya with Wrath of the Berserker the opportunity to take down top fort. The rotation, however, likely going to be the end of Sonya's life.
Getting the fort top definitely gets them closer to reaching 16 first, and Sonya's healing off of all of them, but she will end up falling here. But Death and Delay are going to use her death as an opportunity to grab the bottom bruisers to get that lane pushing with their Siege Giants. So we're going to see some very heavy pressure here at the bottom lane. Gazo seeing that is going to be happening, so he's preparing to get ready to defend it with the rest of his team following closely behind.
Yeah, and you could definitely see there the difference for Sonya with the build that she's got going into that Poison Spirit 7, the, what is it, No Fury? Shot of Fury at 4. Not able to really survive that assault from the team. I think if she now in no way am I saying she should have taken this build, but if she was Whirlwind build, for example, maybe she makes it out of that. She gets another Whirlwind opportunity, and we'll come back to that in a second. But again, that's not to say she should, but you can see the difference, right? The cooldown reduction, the extra healing of that Whirlwind build might have been able to get her out of there.
Yeah, or definitely be able to survive long enough for maybe Brightwing to TP and Emerald win her out. But, you know, she ended up falling. Looks like we're having some mouse trouble on MZ. Who's MZ? Oh, on the Brightwing?
Looks like it's, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, yep, on the Brightwing. Looks like they're having a little bit of mouse trouble. But so far, these fights have been so back and forth where it looks like one side is going to be winning the entire fight with the combos, but then we have the Brightwing, Emerald wins, interrupting half of that combo, or you have Muradin coming in and peeling, jumping on all of them, doing that, what is it, 80% slow? Something crazy?
Yeah, 80% with his heavy impact, yeah.
So, and then the Mephisto using his Durance to both engage, disengage, or shoot it right in the middle of a fight. Like, I really love how back and forth these fights are, even though we were expecting like a one-shot hit combo, everyone dies kind of scenario. So I really like how Death and Delay are responding to that combo.
Yeah, and it looks like the player's mouse is just straight up dead, so they're getting a backup for that. So we'll be able to continue here shortly. But you know, like you said, these combos have been really entertaining for sure. And the Emerald Wind is kind of the counter that if Johanna had taken Falling Sword, that they could have avoided, right? You Falling Sword straight onto Brightwing with the Light Bomb, and all of that goes away. But that means the rest of the team kind of runs away, so it's a little bit harder maybe to set that up as well with the Gravel Bomb or the Durance or what have you. So, you know, the Blessed Shield's just a strong ult, especially when you get to level 20 if you take the upgrade there, which I cannot now remember the name of.
I never remember the names of talents.
Radiating Faith. There we go.
I need to learn them.
So yeah, but that 1.75 second stun with the extra bounces, being able to hit all 5 potentially heroes, is pretty significant.
So just taking a little gander at the talents here, we do have Vala going full auto build, so we're going to be seeing some big damage coming out once she locked in Manticore here at 16. Looks like the teams are about to be ready, though. He found his spare mouse. That is so funny. I can't imagine playing with wireless ever again. I had it die on me once, my mouse, in the middle of a game, and never went back.
I'll show you guys here in a moment what mouse I use, and you'll die. You will legit just be like, how do you even play this game? But anyways, both teams here, we've got Deckard's working on bot lane, and Death and Delay is pretty far away. They did show all up in the top, so burning this down quickly.
Oh, we do have a taunt coming out from Mephisto there. Some fun little banter going back and forth.
Yeah, I wonder if that was on purpose. Well, there's a big Blessed Shield with the Light Bomb and the Gravel Bomb, and there it is, completely deleted. Chromie now in danger. Urel probably gonna stomp, and of course the old timeout. MDC not looking great. Huckett now surrounded by everybody, and I don't think he's got Dwarf Toss. Okay, maybe he does.
Pops out his medallion there at the end to avoid the Johanna W, but there was the combo. Yes, they did exactly what you just said and focused on that Brightwing. They saw the Brightwing, they saw the Violet together. They quickly landed that Blessed Shield with the Gazlo ult and his stun coming out immediately after. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad that they got it down, and we're going to be seeing more of it.
Yeah, and again, the Gazlo and Mephisto have so much burst potential that they didn't have any chance whatsoever. They were just gone before their team even really had a chance to respond. Chaotic says, I looked away for literally half a second. You blink and they die. It was that fast. I don't even think you could clip that because it was so short.
And with that team fight, Deckard's Erudition does end up pushing in mid and capitalizing on that fort. They also got bottom fort earlier. So now the waves, we're going to be seeing some cata pressure both mid and bottom. Looking to come up top here. Kind of scary. Arriving on the Bridge of Death is what it's normally called.
Yeah, but as long as they stay away from the bridge, they should be okay, right?
Should be, hopefully. We do see Murden coming out of the dragon with a stun and combo going on to the Brightwing and Murden. Brightwing does end up falling almost instantly with Huckett taking a ton of damage. Chromie combo ends up falling on Huckett. Huckett did manage killing the Anduin. Side of the blue is very, very low here with Chromie going into her stasis, hoping to get a kill here before she dies. Rise Robin, very, very low, but ends up taking that Chromie Q and walking on out of there. They're going to go ahead and steal this Bruiser camp on the side of Death and Delay and continue to push with this momentum.
Yeah, they're going to get another half a level to 20 here. Sonya was able to pick up the offensive siege camp there. And going to be just a little bit of pressure, but ultimately not really enough to really do anything. I mean, they've got only 2 heroes against 4 at this point. So Deckard's is getting to work, and there's that level 20. Death and Delay have to get a full level before this next Dragon Knight, or it's going to be very difficult for them.
It'd definitely be a tough defense, but not impossible. We do see Radiating Faith, Johanna's ultimate upgrade, being picked up. So these, the side of Death and Delay are definitely going to be held down for a much longer period of time with an extra stun duration. And Mimic being picked up by Mephisto, Varian's Legacy by Anduin, Seraphim on Urel, and then Miniature Black Hole on Gazlo. So these combos just got even bigger. These combos just got even bigger and longer.
Yeah, and you know, again, I mean, with the combo of the firing my lasers, being able to get those extra lasers from the turrets, the combo from Gazlo by himself can delete the Vala or the Brightwing or the Chromie if she doesn't get a timeout. So it's going to be really dangerous here for Death and Delay. They really have to be mindful of the time. Now, keep in mind too that Brightwing's cleanse, her Soothing Mist cleanse, is a Nova, right? It's an AoE pulse, and so if she times it absolutely perfectly, she can pretty much negate the whole thing.
She could. I do think though it only cleanses 1 stun.
Correct.
So. Okay, so if they stagger it by half a second, that'll be God tier if she's able to hit these cleanses. That'd be amazing, and I hope that we get to see it.
The main thing that it would be for, like, if she can just happen to time a Blessed Shield, because really there's, or maybe the Light Bomb. But Urel getting caught out is a huge bonus for Death and Delay. And Murden going in doesn't have the full team, though. Gets caught by the Durance. Here comes that Light Bomb. Is going to land onto 2 as the phase shift coming in. But Gravel Bomb going to pull in 2, and deleted is Brightwing. MDC falling very low. But they get the kill onto Johanna as well. So a 3 for 2 here.
Yeah, they popped that Urel so quick. And she didn't even get the opportunity to hit her ultimate because of the Brightwing poly. But they ended up turning it around with the Murden jumping in to finish the kill on Urel. He wasn't able to jump back out. So once Brightwing teleported on him, they were both kind of stuck there.
Yeah, and they didn't have everybody. that was, I think, the biggest challenge of that fight is that, you know, Sonya was still over here on the bridge trying to clear up the camp and the wave. And then you had Vala and Chromie kind of down and away. Muradin was pretty much on an island trying to survive. Used the Avatar, of course, to try to live through it. But it was just, it took too long. There was too much space in between the players for them to really capitalize on that death. And obviously it ended up costing them an extra player.
And we do see an aggressive pick onto the siege camp. Durance does end up going out, slightly misses on the Mac Daddy-O. You know, she's a skinny legend. What can you do? Sometimes it's just not going to hit.
True. The endurance is not, it's not super wide, and it is a fairly long channel time. So when you've got a hero like Vala who can vault away pretty easily, or even like the Chromie who could, you know, potentially time out, it can easily miss.
Yeah, for sure. And then we do have Rise Robin grabbing top back again. We do have Anduin and Gazlo here taking a lot of damage from the Chromie with Vala trying to follow up. We have Mephisto coming out from the shadows with his Mimic activating there. We do see the combo going on to Chromie, but she was timed out. It ended up missing, but Gazlo ends up following up with a laser with the Chromie falling. Right now, that is a 1-for-1. Both mages are down on both sides. But we do have heavy pressure going in onto Death and Delay with the Siege Giants pushing in bottom here. So we'll see what their plan is to try to get objective here while that's pushing.
I feel like this slightly favors Death and Delay, because I think that the loss of Mephisto is pretty significant for Deckard's. Having the Vala with Farflight Quiver able to attack from pretty far away, but mostly having that Sonya with Wrath of the Berserker, and the additional damage coming out for her spear. She took that level 20 composite spear for the extra range, but also the extra armor. So she's going to be really tough to kill if she's just right up in the face of really anybody here, right? She could be, it could be Aero, it could be Gazlo, it could be Johanna. But both of those mages are going to be coming back here in a second. Urel up in the top to try to flip this back.
Yeah, definitely want to prevent... Oh, we do have Muradin jumping in with the Brightwing teleport coming right on in. Spear does end up coming out on the Sonya. Just misses on Siege. And looks like they're going to back up for now. But Deckard's Erudition looks like they're going to get ready to set up for an engage here with Urel coming in onto the backline. Blessed Shield does end up going out, does miss very slightly, but we do have the Gazlo combo going out onto 3 members of the side of Death and Delay with Muradin falling. MZ17 getting out of there with very, very low health. Mac Daddy-O taking a ton of damage. Johanna does end up falling to the Vala with Chromie poking in here on the back line. They do recognize that Chromie's in the back here, so they're going to pull back just a little bit with Urel capping bottom and Dragon Knight possibly going to the side of Deckard's Erudition.
Possibly, but they both have their tanks down. So, you know, Sonya, again, a really strong frontliner, could potentially zone this out.
We do see Gazlo taking, going for that Dragon Knight, ends up taking a lot of damage with his combo coming out, landing onto the Sonya. Sonya ends up living through all of it and taking down the Gazlo, taking down the Anduin with the Vala follow-up. And Sonya out here, an absolute monster, and she is unable to die. Oh, the dice ends up coming out from Mephisto to Sonya, but she ends up living with a slither of health with Brightwing teleport coming in to give her that extra sustain, and Urel falling to Sonya. Sonya, this absolute beast of a woman, ends up getting all of those, ends up winning that fight.
Oh my goodness, that was insane value out of that Sonya. That was absolutely just disgusting, right? The combo ultimately landing on Sonya alone.
I'm just gonna see if I muted. And no, he's muted himself. Okay.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure I didn't mute Aero by accident.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, apparently I hit that button. They could hear me, but you couldn't. So Johanna did try to go up top there, and flip the switch there. But yeah, that absolutely was just insane. The single combo onto Sonya wasn't enough. She had about 50 health before Anduin and Urel went down, but she was able to just barely stay alive with that whirlwind and the phase shift coming in from Brightwing at the clutch moment.
Yep, it was so awesome to watch. That Brightwing has definitely got their just Z on point. They definitely just know what to Z in, how to keep their teammates alive. I noticed she's all speedy. Oh, she went the speedy dragon.
She did. I was gonna mention that earlier before before the tanks had died, but then the fight had gone off. Yrel having to use Ardent Defender there in a little bit of a dangerous place. Xantharium there on Mephisto just taking a truckload of damage, having to use that healing well. And Rise Robin using that Seraphim to get out that very short cooldown unstoppable, really helping out the Yrel.
Yeah, Yrel's usually one of the tankiest characters that you see in this game, but Death and Delay are really chunking her down instantly. She does end up hopping on them, just throwing them away, letting them know what's up. With the Dragon Knight taking a lot of damage here, trying to get that mid keep, but ends up backing out because it's low health, low timers, only got 6 seconds left on this dragon. With the side of Deckard's Erudition, just trying to push them out, trying to get them away, and not trying to end here.
Yeah, good unstoppable there again for Yrel, knowing that Muradin was in the Dragonite, was about to fall. Didn't want to get knocked back by the Dragonite, but also that Muradin could have just popped a Stormbolt. And with the Ardent Defender down, I mean, like you said earlier, we've seen Yrel just drop in a matter of a couple of seconds. Certainly the Manticore helping out with that, but Chromie damage, just that spell power level 1 is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, the Polymorph also coming out on Brightwing onto Yrel, or preventing her from using her ult. Oh, but Brightwing does end up getting picked out here on the side. She does pop Emerald Wind, so that will be down for this combo. But Gazel taking a ton of damage, dropping down the combo once more, landing it onto Vala, Muradin, and Sonya. Sonya and Vala end up falling. Muradin getting out of there with very little health. But getting that Emerald Wind out so early just offered Deckard's Erudition to engage on that freely. So really, really good on them trying to getting that Emerald Wind out.
Yeah, Brightwing in a little bit of an awkward spot there, separated from her team by this giant forest wall here. Speedy Dragon's great. It gives you that 20% movement speed, but it's not going to help you if you get a Blessed Shield on you, or some other form of CC that locks you down. Get a root, you're stuck.
Yep. Poor little fairy dragon. But we do see the Bruisers getting picked up on the side of Deckard's Erudition, and gonna be pushing in here with Muradin throwing out a stun, and time stop happening onto the Anduin. We're gonna see a push here from the blue team, and we'll see what Death and Delay's answer is here. Being able to clear that wave out really nicely.
Yeah, they do have Vala and Sonya coming up, so even with those 2 kills, really all that Deckard's got was that bottom camp. It really didn't get him a whole lot of value.
Yeah, and this heavy pressure from Death and Delay ends up getting that mid keep. So now we do have 2 exposed lanes on the side of Deckard's Erudition, but Dragon Knight here ready to go for the side of blue team.
Yeah, and we can see Death and Delay keeping an eye on this, being very careful about their positioning. Johanna checking to make sure that who's in that bush. So I'm just gonna head up top. Yrel's coming in from behind though, so this could be a fight. Looking for that combo. There's the big stun, and Chromie just gone. Didn't have a chance to time out. The jump onto Brightwing gonna take her out as well. Vala trying to get away, but Yrel coming in with that Hand of Freedom, keeping her nice and speedy as well. Muradin gonna get a jump out, but I think this is gonna be a Dragonite in a few moments here for Deckard's. They do have the walls down in a couple of lanes here, so they could take this keep down. It's 26 minutes. They're looking at checkmate right now.
This is a big dragon. We do see 3 Katas in the bot lane on the side of Death and Delay. Sonya here trying to help out with capping this bottom lane, but Deckard's Erudition knew exactly what was going on and capitalized onto that Sonya. She ends up falling. We're in a sticky situation here on the side of Death and Delay. We do have 4 down with this dragon pushing in. Only Muradin here to defend it, with still the lowest death timer being 10 seconds on Chromie and Brightwing.
Yeah, dragon coming in, and keep in mind it does do extra damage.
Yeah, so we may see a GG at this point. We do see Chromie coming out here ready to defend with her life, but we do see that core taking a crazy amount of damage from this 27-minute Dragon Knight, and that's GG.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time for a Dragon Knight to push down a core at 27 minutes. It's, about a half a dozen auto attacks, it seems like.
That was an awesome comeback from Deckard to Erudition. They were the ones with the 2 keeps falling on their side, and Death and Delay had all of their keeps up. So kudos to Deckard's coming back from that.
Yeah, this was a surprisingly back and forth game, but it was pretty much, about as we expected at the beginning, right? Deckard's was looking for big combo plays, and Death and Delay were looking for those quick burn isolated kills whenever they could. Both teams did so, but in the end, the last fight went to Deckard's.
All you need, this is Heroes of the Storm. Once you get to level 20, and those fights are really, really meaningful. All you need is a couple of fights, and you can push down a lane to win the game. And those giant combos allowed them to do that.
Yeah, it was pretty intense there, especially toward the end, getting those Gravo Bomb combos along with the Light Bomb and Blessed Shield. Just really well timed.
Yeah, the Mephisto is falling out on all of that.
Yeah, and Mephisto just existing.
Yeah, just Mephisto being alive. But the Sonya was in that mid fight there. The fact that she lived with Brightwing was just one of the highlights of tonight's games. And that Muradin being able to peel for most of the time. Muradin's not a great peel tank, so the fact that he was able to peel so many times for his Vala and Chromie against the damage coming out from Mephisto and Gazlo was really, really, really noteworthy.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's take a short break while we wait to hear where we go for game number 2.
Fun!
Bienvenidos a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. ¡Vámonos! El terrorífico, el chamuco, Diablo. El jefe, Aero. La parca, Lunara. La pantera, Sonia. Estos luchadores se dieron con todo. ¡Épico! ¡No! ¡Ese luchador está fuera! ¡Qué brutal guillotina! ¡La multitud quiere más! ¡Uy! ¡Mira nada más! ¡Cuando el referee no veía! ¡Increíble! ¡Los ruidos están en la lona! ¡Legendario!
Are you ready for the Inter-Multiversal Nexo Weight Championship? You better be! El Bandito Imperious! Gata de Batalla Lele! Malgocho! Ganas!
¡Legendario! Bienvenidos a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo.
Ding, ding, ding! The party's on!
¡Épico!
What a takedown! Give it up for MC Tombstone!
All right, and we are back, getting set up and ready to go for game number 2. I'm Aero. I'm joined by Salvaje, and we're watching Deckard's Erudition and Death and Delay from Division B-NorthEast. Game number 1 was super exciting. We're looking at game number 2 here. Going to be on Volskaya Foundry, the selection of Deckard's Erudition. What do you think? What can we expect out of this?
To see a Deckard from Deckard's Erudition. He's great on Volskaya. Offers a lot of point control in regards to his sustain. You can last a really long time. We did see the Anwin picked up last time on the side of Deckard's Erudition. And we did see Yrel. Yrel's also a really, really good pick again here. Just to be able to survive the solo lane. That's all you really need Yrel for. Just survive in the solo lane and soak.
Yeah, and this is a map where you end up with long periods of time where you just kind of have not a lot to do except for soak, maybe pick up a camp if it's the right time to do so, and then pretty much look forward to that fight over maybe a heal camp or something, because there are several minutes between when the first protector ends and the second one, or second and third. And here we go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so our
that is still banned. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I was just going to say. Our original bans here were from last game were Sylvanas Rexar on the side of Death and Delay, Greymane D.Va on the side of Deckard's Erudition. What of those do you think we might see again here, or what other heroes do you think might end up getting banned, maybe from what we just saw?
D.Va for sure, not just because she's so strong right now, but because her point control is insane with her E. So it's just a big pain in the butt that a lot of teams don't feel like dealing with on maps like this, like Volskaya. So I do see a D.Va ban. I see a Sylvanas ban because of her ability to push so hard. And I see a Greymane ban because of his all-around effectiveness with camps, damage, and wave clear. And we do see Johanna being banned. They said, we don't like those combo setups. We're not having that again in this game.
At least not from that one. Johanna was able to use that Blessed Shield and then receive the blessing of the Light Bomb to really help set those up. But not this game. Not going to happen. She is able to hold on to the points pretty significantly in general, so not really a big surprise to see her banned out, especially since she was so strong for them in game number 1. We are going to get that Greymane as expected, so we might see some adjustments here, or maybe we'll still see the Sylv and D.Va banned out. But you know what? I mean, Sylva's so strong. Maybe she's picked up here by Death and Delay. Maybe they leave this open.
Yeah, they do have first pick. I mean, they do have first pick. Let's hope Deckard's Erudition bans that D.Va, because if not, Death and Delay can definitely pick that up if they're gonna prioritize the Sylv over D.Va.
I'm a little bit interested to see, obviously they ban out the Mephisto. I'm interested to see if Deckard's brings back the Gazlo, or if it's just that was our one time to shine with it. Let's go ahead and leave that out there now. But this is a point control map, so I feel like Gazlo excels at a map like this, and D.Va is going to be left up.
D.Va left up. Let's pick it. Come on, Death and Delay. Pick. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing point control on the side of D.Va, and she's just all around. A lot of damage output, a lot of siege potential. She's just so strong on this map, especially. I'm excited to see the D.Va being picked up here.
And she does bring a lot of disruption. She kind of fills a similar role to Yrel in that she can survive for a long period of time. She provides a lot of disruption to the enemy team, and then also has the ability to really debuff the enemy team depending on what build she goes. A lot of potential builds, different ways that she can affect this outcome. We're gonna get Ana and Mei. What do you think about those heroes here?
So the Ana, I think her job is to sleep D.Va as soon as her mech dies. We do see Tassar and Uther being picked up on the side of Death and Delay, and I think that's a tank Uther, in my opinion. That's a tank Uther.
You think so? It is the support player who picked it up. Uther did get a big change. Well, not a big change. He did get adjusted. So his Holy Radiance build has become a little bit more feasible for the group healing, as opposed to just kind of hoping that he can get his armor bonus out. Sylvanas can be the next ban.
I just know Uther and Samay as both the tanks battling it out with one another. Uther offers the constant stun on top of May when she gets out of her D. Even when she tries to go in, he can stun, interrupt her from engaging, and have her pop her slide faster. So he gets the brunt of it instead of the rest of his team. But we'll see. I'm really excited if that's a tank Uther though. But we do see Orphea getting banned out here. Gonna avoid all that big bursty damage. Choco! Oh, Choco!
Yep. Oh, we actually have a sub in as well. Looks like Mydril is out and Tlems is in. And I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing a Probius here, but you know what? We'll go with the Cho'Gall. Tlems being... Tlems has like 100-something level Probius, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So we do see Anubrak and Tychus being picked up, which is to be expected. Both of those are great Cho'Gall counters, still able to offer that CC and that damage. With the Uther here as well, we're gonna see a lot of CC being locked down on either Ana or Cho'Gall itself. D.Va's gonna have a fantastic time harassing the Ana, because Cho'Gall does have a hard time, and May, peeling someone like D.Va off of Ana.
Kayla kind of reflecting in chat exactly what I was thinking when we get to the end of this draft. What happened here? How did this come about? Like, this is a very interesting draft from Deckard's. They've kind of drafted a team that is extremely difficult to kill, except for the fact that you have Tychus on the other side. So, you know, the bigger they are could certainly bring all of these heroes down very significantly. May is really mobile. Rexar's pretty far back. Cho'Gall has the ability to shove out of, you know, dangerous positions. So really the only player that they can kill quickly is Ana, but they don't have a good way to do it.
Diva's so what I see coming from the side of Death and Delay, if they play this in the long term, or if they recognize what they could do, they can cocoon the Cho'Gall. All that's left is for May to be peeling on Ana. If they cocoon, immediately dive onto Ana, she's dead with the D.Va. Like, D.Va just puts out so much damage, especially if she goes missiles. There's no one that can stop Ana from dying. If they are gonna do what I think they're going to do.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. Let's go ahead and get our teams introduced.
So, on the side of Deckard's Erudition, we have Pina Colada on May, Zenthanaria on Cho, Tlems on Gall, Rise Rava on Rexar, and Sheej on Ana.
Alrighty, and over here for Death and Delay, we got MZ17 playing the Uther, Delta Sniper on the Tassadar, MacDaddio on the Tychus, Huckett on Nubrak, and even going to be played by MDC. And I think, you know, both of these teams really get a big power spike at level 16. So we'll see really which team that affects the most. Death and Delay really has, I guess, just the Nubrak who's going to be there consistently for the stun potential from Cho'Gall. But we'll just, I honestly don't know. I think this is almost a coin flip if it gets to 16, because like Tassadar can just do crazy amounts of damage at 16, and obviously Tychus. So
yeah, Tassadar has a percent talent on his Q. Is that at 16? Is that what you're talking about?
Tassadar has 8% on his Q at 16. Then,
okay.
Tychus gets his grenade. It's 5%, but it is AoE, so I mean that's kind of helpful too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we're just gonna see some battling over the lanes, just kind of rotating top and mid. This is kind of the norm you see on Volskaya with bottom. D.Va and Rexar just duking it out down there. What did she go on level 1, the D.Va? She did end up going full metal. D.Va, awesome.
All right, well, we do have here Death and Delay picking up their fortification camp first. With Deckard's Erudition not on their camp, I kind of wonder if they might not look to pick up the healing camp first. But again, they don't have big damage, so I'm not sure that's really what they're looking for. Diva's mech expiring there, so MDC gonna have to be a little bit careful because now Misha could just 1v1 her pretty easily.
Oh yeah, that bear is very scary. We do see Deckard's Erudition picking up their turret now, but with Death and Delay being very, very close to that healing camp, doing some damage onto Pina Colada, but she ends up just getting right on out of there. A little bit of siege, and we're gonna see exactly where Death and Delay decide to rotate. And going on to the Cho'Gall here, throwing out a stun. Just kind of a lull at the moment, just soaking all the lanes, kind of doing the norm in games.
There's going to be electric fence there for the Tassadar, which I kind of expected, because ideally they want to get Tychus to be able to stick on a target for as long as possible. So not only having that wall, but keeping them slowed as well. It is going to be the bigger they are, so, you know, Tychus will have that. What do you take at level 1? Press the advantage, so that's the additional range.
And we do see damage going out onto the Tassadar. He does take some heavy damage, ends up falling to the Cho'Gall. Didn't necessarily see what happened there. Did you catch a glimpse of what happened to Tas? And
yeah,
how he
you'll
got
see
there?
it in about 20 seconds. Basically, the team just said hi, and he died. I mean, I think he got stunned by Mei, and there was the force wall down. But ultimately, you know, you can't stop all of this front line when you're Tassadar and you don't have much of a health pool. It doesn't matter if you're
the
fighting against tanks.
knockback from Mei. Yeah, I see it here. Poor little Tassie. But we do see a stun coming out onto the Rexar with some heavy damage from Mac Daddio. A slow going out, but Misha does end up getting that stun onto 3 members of the side of Death and Delay. And Rexar walking on out of there with a dead bear.
And we see here, Hotep, I think, is the Discord name, calling out in the rhythm 5,000 stacks incoming. I wouldn't actually have been surprised to see in the rhythm. I think it would have been really helpful, but it is bigger there. Yeah, so.
And we do see a stun falling onto the Cho'Gall, but the Mei follows up with her Blizzard locking down Huckett. Huckett having to come out of there, getting low on health, with Mac Daddio also being very, very low. They're going to tap here, try to get ready for the re-engage. We do have Bomb ready to go on the Diva, so they will have some point control here if Deckard's Erudition decides to come into it.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting that swoop build from Rexar, so he's going for as much auto attack damage as he can possibly get. We're going to see that out of Cho as well, right? Taking Seared Flesh, so he's going to get that additional auto attack damage. So a lot of auto attack bonuses here, looking to just pound somebody into the ground as much as they possibly can, and then build on the benefit of the healing reduction from Ana, which so far has been really on point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with going into an Uther. Being Ana and going into an Uther, it's really, really unfortunate whenever Ana does hit that grenade on your target and all of your burst healing gets put on them, and the cooldowns are just so long that the Ana is extremely punishing whenever Uther does hit one of her biotic targets.
Yeah, and at level 4 here, I just showed it on screen there for Diva. They're taking the rush down, which, you know, sometimes when I'm playing Diva, I have to really kind of debate on whether that's the pick I want to take or, you know, the anti-healing. But never mind, we're getting a stun coming out onto, well, nobody, because she was unstoppable, but looking for Pina Colada. Instead, the healing bio emitter is going to go down. Channel at 85%, and this is the fight for control here, as Diva does get the mech out, but Diva getting very low is going to fall to the Gall. Misha the only one to fall to the mech explosion here, but Delta trying to keep overtime going, probably in a dangerous place with the Cho'Gall right up in your face.
Ana doing exactly what they picked her up to do for the Diva, just holding on to that sleep until that mech does end up dying, or she does end up using her bomb and throwing that sleep immediately onto baby Diva. She's gonna fall with all this damage coming out of here. So Ana, really, really great plays, doing exactly what I thought they were gonna be running.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this only gets worse as the game goes on. Cho'Gall coming online at, you know, really at 16 with the additional stuns. So we'll see how this comes out. It's really up to Death and Delay to find an opportunity here to get an early kill and get somewhere. But Tychus the first one, and we're looking at maybe 2 more here. Uther trying to keep Anubarak alive, and maybe that armor just enough to save them as the level 10's coming out and Delta trying to use that black hole to peel the team away.
Yeah, big laser damage from the Triglav itself. It ended up hitting 4 members of the side of Death and Delay, and they just must not have seen it. And we do have a stun from Misha going out into Delta Sniper, but Huckett coming right on in to help peel for that. The top 4 does end up falling on the side of Death and Delay, with Deckard Erudition looking for that additional kill onto Huckett. Oh, he's got poison, but he ends up shielding it, walking on out of there. Very coordinated on the side of Deckard's Erudition. They are stacking their stuns and their sleeps and their damage really well.
And they really need to, because this is not a team comp built with a whole lot of damage in mind, so they need those CCs to lock a hero down long enough for the general abilities to work. But when you've got Mei with her Blizzard, you've got the Sleep Dart from Ana, you've got the Misha Charge, I mean, there's a lot of ways to hold somebody in place for long enough. And again, I keep saying it, but at 16, Cho comes online, I guess it's Gall comes online, and can hold on to somebody for, what, like 6 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, they feel like they're online right now, so if they get any more kill potential here, I can see, or get any more kills here. Ooh! Start walking into that bush, ends up just walking away. That was very scary to see.
Yeah, you know what Tassadar did? He did the same thing that I did when I was in like middle school, where you walk into the bathroom and you're like, this doesn't look right. Wait a second.
That was he was looking in the face of death, and the blue team just not recognizing it fast enough, and he ended up walking away. But that was funny. We do have the turret, a healing camp, and siege picked up on the side of Deckard's Erudition. So they're going into this next objective very well prepared. And with that additional pressure already happening top from the catapults, they're going to be at a great advantage in this top objective when it pops.
Yeah, it's really going to be up to Death and Delay to find themselves a quick kill, making use of the bigger they are, and then, you know, maybe getting that damage out of Tassadar onto literally anybody. Anybody that they can possibly get on the side of Deckard's Erudition will really cause this whole thing to kind of collapse, because if you get rid of Cho'Gall, obviously that's the best case scenario. You know, everything collapses. If you disrupt the Mei, then they don't quite have that same peel or the stun damage. Potentially, what'd she go at 13 here? Polar Vortex, so the auto attack speed slows. Like, lots of ways that Mei can slow things down, and of course Misha. So, and I said, I didn't say Ana, but Ana is so far back it's going to be difficult for them to do that. So they really need to get this quick kill so that they can move on with the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and there goes the cocoon. They tried to dive onto the Ana after the cocoon drops. Ana trying to run away on the conveyor belt, does get stuck from black hole from the Tassadar and falling to the Diva Bomb. Huckett taking a lot of damage at this point. Mei dropping her D. Huckett falling to the Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall putting out a lot of damage here with Diva in the background. She does have turret. Will she drop it? Oh, she does end up falling with the turret, and they do end up picking up that turret, and healing camp does fall from the Mei, healing them up, but does get destroyed fairly quickly by the Tassadar, and Pina Colada falling here. Death and Delay coming out as the victors of this fight. They did exactly what they needed to do. Cocoon that Cho'Gall and dive that Ana as quick as possible. That is their quick pick, and then they can try to pull back and do as much damage everywhere else.
And go figure, after I literally just said, kill anybody but the Ana, because you'll never get to the Ana. What do? They kill the Ana. Like, okay, guys.
The Anubarak has a lot of closing potential onto that Ana. So as long as Tassadar is paying attention to the Anubarak, they can kill her from even far away. And the Diva jumping back there as well and throwing her mech on top of it, they can really pop that Ana really quick before Cocoon falls.
Yeah, that mech was absolutely clutch to secure that kill. Really zoning the rest of Deckard's Erudition from being able to do anything, right? The mech was blocking them from leaving. Diva's sitting about 30-40% on her charge, as they do get the second protector of this game. So level 16 now here for Deckard's. And we'll see how this game now evolves with the level 16s coming online ultimately for both teams here in a few moments.
Yeah, they can, Death and Delay can definitely get this fort and even out this top lane fairly quickly. We do see Cho'Gath and Mei coming in onto the back line. Magdadio is sticking onto that Cho'Gath, doing a ton of damage. Divine Shield ends up being popped for the Tychus, with the Anub'arak falling very quickly right after he popped out of the Triglav to try to peel for that. Great pick on the Anub'arak immediately once he jumped out of the Triglav. We do see Cho'Gath catching the Uther out with those stuns landing over and over again. Uther is popping his medallion with Mei looking for an additional kill, but the Triglav ends up pushing her back.
Yeah, that was pretty intense, you know, the CC chain, and probably just as importantly as the kill, Mei picked up the biotic emitter from Anub'arak as well. Didn't even have a chance to cast that. Now, Cho'Gath going in deep is going to take some damage from the fort. I thought maybe that would be a little bit more threatening than it ended up being, but they make it out.
He has like 5,000 health. He's fine. Take a couple turret shots, whatever.
So we do see here those percent damage, right? Thermal Lance for the Tassadar and Titan Grenade for what's his name, Tychus.
We do see a fight breaking out over this turret camp. Cocoon already fell onto the Cho'Gath and broken out of it by Ana. Cho'Gath throwing out his ult, taking a ton of damage from Tychus, but popping that Molten Core just to avoid the remaining damage and getting healed up from that Ana. Ana keeping her team nice and healthy. Uther ended up falling, unfortunately, but great picks on the side of Deckard's Erudition. They were able to get that kill, get the turret, and walk on out of there with Rexar soaking the whole time as well. And is D.Va okay? She's backing up there. I saw her standing up there for a while.
Yeah, she was able, while that fight was taking place, she was able to finish up the top fort. So both teams now even in their structures. A little bit of value in the bot lane even from both teams. And in a moment it'll be pretty much the same as the healing well. Probably going to go down here in just a moment. Yeah, there it is.
The old well, and we did see, I didn't realize, or I didn't mention that D.Va did pick up those missiles, so she is going to be pumping out quite a bit of damage here against essentially anyone.
Yeah, and she did at 13. She went for that good to go, so she's getting those two bonus talents, those two bonus abilities to be able to dash and also a concussive blast. Likely going to be very helpful for her survivability with this team trying to be up in her face. So at 16 here, taking in for the kill, so getting that extra shield as well. Then she's got that auto attack damage, so really going heavily into that damage. At level 4, you know, getting that percent damage. I don't know that there's ever been a team where it makes it such an easy decision to take that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did see bottom 4 here falling, and we have a fight possibly coming out with Black Hole thrown out immediately with Avalanche following up on it. Both sides just trying to disengage, but they do end up picking it up on the side of Deckard Erudition. But Cho'Gath going in. D.Va does have her bomb here, but they are being stunned forever by the Cho'Gath. Purple orbs of death. Bomb ends up falling out, coming out. D.Va back in her mech, but we do have Anub'arak falling there. Oh, those orbs! They hurt!
You get big damage, you get the almost eternal stun chain. It's really strong, and again, I mean, that's that level 16 power spike that Cho'Gath gets there. At level 20, potentially gets even worse when he can take a very short cooldown reduction on for Ghal's abilities, and then he can just keep throwing those dread orbs out, and then you get stunned forever. And that level 20 is not far away.
Oh man, that sounds not fun to be against. Hopefully, we do see Death and Delay come out here with some sort of plan of action to try to get these lanes pushed out. Gonna get ready for this objective. Ana just sitting there, making sure that they're gonna be capping it while soaking all the other lanes and continuing to keep that level, all these lanes pushed while Death and Delay are trying to get level 20.
Yeah, working on that 20, we do see Rexar and friends heading into this bottom keep wall. You know, I was going to say, I kind of assume that we're going to see the same from Death and Delay here. They don't quite, neither team really has great siege potential, so this is going to take a bit, but opening up the potential for a keep on, really on both sides of this is about as good as you can hope for. Now, the real question here is Death and Delay.
Base
Do they
race?
keep going? And I think they
Base
do.
race? Base race?
I think it has to be.
Are we base racing? Oh, this
It
is
looks
a base
like it.
race.
Here it comes. And they do have a catapult with them, so this could actually be successful. But the core is already
Oh, the
really low,
core
40%.
is already less than 50%. Oh,
Wow.
man. That Cho'Gath damage and that Rexar damage. Oh, exciting play there. They may have been able to defend the Triglav. I'm not too crazy on the base race, but I understand where they're coming from for sure. To just try to see if they can squeeze that win out of there when their lanes are pushed so far back.
I think what they needed to do differently there was they spent a lot of time, clearing mid, clearing top, and then going through top lane. And I think that if they would have just gone straight to that top keep, stayed out of vision, Deckards wouldn't have been able to get so much value onto the keep as early as they did, because they were there first. And then they were able to move on to the core immediately. And I think that if Death and Delay had gone there just right away, yeah, they weren't 20 yet, but they were getting it on the way. Maybe they make that, because then they're there first. They have more time to put that siege into the keep. They have more time to put that siege into the core. Who knows? But in this case, it's not going to matter. Deckard's coming in on top.
Yeah, congrats. It's best 2 out of 3, correct?
It is, yes. So they do take the series.
Congratulations. Yay, congratulations to Deckard's Erudition. Phenomenal plays with the whole combo craziness in game 1. And then the sneaky Cho'Gath pick in game 2. Even with a couple of Cho'Gath's counters being picked on the side of Death and Delay, it just wasn't enough to stop them.
Absolutely. Great plays here. I'm going to see if we can get an interview.
Yeah, good.
Why don't you meet me in the NGS lobby?
Okay.
We'll meet in lobby 5.
Okay.
Howdy.
Hey there.
Hey.
All right.
Howdy.
So we are joined here by Pina Colada. Welcome. Congratulations on your victory. How's the team feeling after that?
Adrenaline pumping.
I can't imagine why.
Wall.
You had our adrenaline pumping in the caster station.
So let's
Wow.
actually start off with that. How did that last 60 seconds go for the team? What kind of things did you recognize, and what ultimately led to your call that led to the victory?
It was actually Robin who said he made an honorable question of, he asked Zan, who was in Cho'Gath, he said, do they win us in base race? And he said no, so we just went for it. It's just an honorable base race, and there's nothing to complain about. I mean, they could have came back and tried to defend, but I think they wanted to see what would happen. But that was a lot of fun.
We talked about it a little bit there just a moment ago about what I think maybe could have tilted that into their advantage as opposed to you guys. But you only have a brief moment to make those decisions, and my team on Sunday had an almost identical scenario, but we ended up winning by 3%. Right, a split second of a protector auto attack was the difference. So sometimes you just have to make those core calls and throw out the Hail Mary and hope that it lands, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So we'll start with the second game. So we talked a little bit about your draft. You had the insta-lock on Cho'Gath after the second ban phase there. I gotta say I was a little surprised seeing the Mei and the Rexar and the Cho'Gath like all coming in. Salvaje obviously identified that, hey, Ana can really lock down this diva, potential as a problem. Was there any potential that you might shift this draft up? Was this 100% the way you saw it going at the beginning? Like, how did that evolve?
Not to give too much out there, but
yeah, of course.
We've been trying different things lately because we started the season going 0-2 twice, and we've been trying to figure out what's our little coordination, what's going to be our thing. And we started practicing on different things, and I've been trying to practice more May, and then we realized May kind of works with Cho'Gath a little bit, and Ana helps with that. Say like even if May's low, you can nano for the extra mana. Like it's a May Ana. It seems weird, and you don't think of it, but it's something when you break it down, it makes sense type deal.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
worked very well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've got one other question for you, then I'm going to send it over to Salvaje. You brought Tlems in on game 2. Have you guys let him play Probius this season? Will he get to play Probius this season?
That we're trying to get more practice with the Probius comps and that type of stuff. Because I picked up Tlems, played with him a few games, and he's got decent hero pool, and I know his Probius is good, but there was always not even a miscommunication. It's we want to lock that down before we break it out. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
He will play it. When? I don't know. Where?
Alright.
I don't know. But against who? That question I can't answer for you at this very moment, because it's a surprise.
Fair enough. I have an idea of maybe where, but I'm not going to give anything away about history of casting and seeing that opportunity picked up. Salvaje, any questions here for Pina Colada?
Hi, yes. So for game 1, I just wanted to ask about kind of the thought process picking up your comp. So us on the caster side immediately saw so much combo potential, and I just wanted to get your guys' way of thinking and what your plan was, picking up that Johanna, Gazelle, Mephisto, Anduin, and Yrel. Just kind of give us a little bit of insight on what your thought process was and how you were going into it.
With the Joe Gazlo comp, it's something where you don't see Joe that threatening, so you don't expect a lot of I guess you could say the wombo combo potential, but it's something where we noticed it. Gazzo got unlocked, and we've been messing around with Gravel Bomb, and sure enough, it with the new changes to Gazlo, his Gravel Bomb combo keeps him pretty locked down. So it helps Joe lock them down even more. And it's like, it's to be honest, it's easier to land than a Mosh setup. So
okay, so you were using the Gazlo to initiate. It was what your plan was?
I would coordinate with either a W or a shield, but the follow-up is definitely with the Gazlo. Sometimes we even led with the Gazlo bomb, especially at 20. It's just so big that near the end there we just ended up using the Gazlo bomb first, and it worked out.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to watch. It was really awesome. There's a lot of screaming in the casting, whenever it did lands. Yeah, that was pretty much my question. It was like my second time casting. Thank you guys for giving me such amazing games tonight.
No problem.
Really, really good.
It's game 1 really solid. Game 2 really solid. Nothing you can ask more than for your first or your second cast. You said?
Oh no, this is my third. This is my third.
Third cast. I mean, each game can get a little better. That's all you can hope for.
Yes.
Yeah, this was an absolutely great series here. So at the beginning of the set, you guys were 2-4. Death and Delay, they were 6-0. Obviously, that's a little bit closer to even now. Did you do any extra prep for Death and Delay, or any extra practices, or was it just kind of business as usual on your prep and timing?
Lately we've been picking up, doing few extra practices here and there, but Sheej, who's been helping me scout, has been really coming in clutch with a lot of extra information. So we've been, dedicating days to kind of scout and figure it all out, so we can, get the most out of our scouting. Because, if you just go with what's meta, it doesn't always work. But at the same time, if you do a little digger deeping, you can figure out figure out what's making the other team work. So.
Well, it certainly worked for you tonight. Last question before we get to shoutouts. Any particular moment that you specifically want to highlight, whether it's something you did, your team, or the enemy team? Anything that you want to say, hey, this was a really great moment that I want to make sure gets highlighted?
That base race, honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better ending to the series. You know, could have gone either way. You never know with the base race. You know, something could happen, something could go wrong, and shout out to Death and Delay for being honorable and going for it.
Good deal. All right, any shoutouts?
Shout out to my team. We're rolling right now. We'll keep the train moving. To be honest, shout out to you guys for casting it. I know you're one of the veteran casters, so it was good to see you casting it. Hope to see you cast more of our games. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm glad that we were able to pick it up. And again, I mean, it was a really fun cast. Anybody else you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, that should be it. I do want to actually, you know what? Shout out to Death and Delay. You guys gave us one hell of a fight, and I appreciate it. There wasn't a moment where I said, wow, we're winning this. It was a lot of, all right, back, forth type deal, and it was solid.
Well, I was just looking at your guys' next matchup here, which is Regen Ghost. And considering the affiliation, you know what? I went ahead and picked it up. So I guess we'll see each other on Wednesday.
All right. That sounds good. See you Wednesday.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, and good luck. Don't forget to report your match, and see you soon.
Keep up the momentum.
Catch you later, guys. Thanks again for casting.
Yep. All right, I'm going to call you back, Salvaje.
Okay.
Are you there? There we go. All right, there we go. I was like, why isn't this working? All right, that's it for our match here between Deckard's Erudition and Death and Delay. Before we wrap up, I do want to say it was absolutely a pleasure casting with you. You've done really well. This is, with this only being your third cast, that's really exciting to see just how easily you've kind of fit into this role. So I'm really glad that you've picked up this mantle and that you're going to be part of the casting crew.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. It's a completely new world to me besides just playing the video game. So I'm really, really excited, and I hope to do more casts. Sticking with co-caster for now in the future.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. What we're going to do now is we're going to send everybody over to a good friend of mine, Murda, who is casting a Division D West matchup between Clouded Minds and We're Scaling. Before we go, where can people find you?
So people can find me at twitch.tv/@SalvajeGaming. I will be it's just /SalvajeGaming. I'm going to be streaming literally right after this too, if anyone wants to hang out. And you can find me on Twitter @SalvajeGaming or YouTube @SalvajeGaming. It's all the same.
I'm recognizing a theme here.
Finally got it all matching.
Good deal. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for stopping by here tonight. Want to shout out again Clem for the sub, Beechwood, obviously Salvaje as well for the follows. Dontris looks like was in there as well, and Huckett. So everybody, it's been great. And if you're here watching for Deckard's Erudition, again, Wednesday the 7th, I think it was at 9:00 p.m. It is at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you stop by right here for that matchup. Otherwise, everybody else, we'll see you soon, and enjoy the rest of Murda's cast here tonight.
Have a great night, guys.